and welcome to the 31st edition of the Local Lowdown podcast. My name is Zach Bischoff, and I am, as always, joined by.
Danny Shanholzer.
All right, thank you very much, Danny. All right, today we're going to talk about the NFL Super Wildcard Weekend as the playoffs are set to get underway tomorrow. You're going to hear this on Friday, whatever day that is. We're recording this a week ahead because I will be out of town. And will not be able to do this when I want to do it, so we're going to get it out of the way now. Danny, your thoughts? We're going to talk first about the number 7 out of the AFC, number 7 Pittsburgh Steelers going up against the number 2 seed Buffalo Bills in Buffalo in what is forecasted to be a snow game.
Zach, oh my goodness. How about those Pittsburgh Steelers, man? Finding a way, willing our way to victory. In Baltimore, the weather was against us. Everybody counted us out. The Ravens were the number 1 overall seed. They have a bye this week, rightfully so, because they're 14-3. But Zach, how about the determination showed by the Pittsburgh Steelers, man? I mean, to be even talking about this game is incredible.
Yes.
Because we were down and out. I mean, 3 straight losses to bad teams, the Patriots, the Cardinals, and the Colts. And at that point, when Mitch Trubisky was literally throwing the ball to the other team, it was hard not to lose hope. But, we somehow found a way. And I think, say what you will about Mike Tomlin, but in primetime games, Mike Tomlin finds a way. In the elements, we pounded the ball. Najee Harris and Jalen Warren both had awesome days, awesome running throughout these 3 weeks, really, but especially throughout the Baltimore game. I mean, George Pickens not getting a target in the Ravens game, but converting a huge 3rd-and-1 play and blocking his tail off. The fact that we're even here, Zach, is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so excited for playoffs, man.
Yes, and not only did we need the win, we also needed the Titans to defeat the Jaguars, which they did 28-20. So we were all scoreboard watching during the Steeler game. Well, I was not. I was working that particular evening. But, we were all scoreboard watching. And then on Sunday, we got to watch the Titans defeat the Jaguars and then us mosey on into the playoffs as the last team in. Dan, looking ahead to the other let's talk about, let's go more in depth on the Steelers here. Your thoughts on just the game? You gave a thoughts on the game, but Dan, your tips to win against, say it is a snow game in Buffalo here on Sunday.
Yeah, Zach. No, I mean, this is playoff weather, right? You gotta battle the elements, and we're certainly gonna have to do that again in Buffalo. It's gonna be snowing, gonna be windy. The wind goes, guys, I think might be up to 45 miles an hour. That is very, very windy. And you're definitely gonna feel that in the weather.
Game's gonna be affected.
What's that, bud?
I'll be surprised if it hits that. I'll be surprised if they even take a field goal in that freaking game.
I know, because and I think Boz and Presley Harvin or Brad Wing, who just signed, might be put to the test for sure with dealing with the elements, man. But I think, Zach, this is a game where we really got to focus on the running game. Najee Harris and Jalen Warren have complemented each other so well. Najee Harris, I've loved just his physical running, all his stiff arms these past couple weeks, especially the one against the Seahawks. That really was incredible, and just what we wanted Najee to do for so long. But we gotta run the ball well and take care of the ball. I think that's a big thing. And on the defensive side of the ball, we're not going to be without TJ Watt, who is a game wrecker, Zach. That
Hmm.
dude can turn the outcome of games around just by him being on the field. And we know this because we are 1-10 in games that he's not played. So he is our best player. He is the most important player on our team. He's obviously out with a grade 2 MCL sprain. So that's not ideal, you know? So Nick Herbig and Alex Highsmith are going to all have to step up, you know? And I think that forcing Buffalo into bad situations, Zach, is going to be the name of the game. Get them behind schedule, you know? Make them have to throw in this weather, you know? Force Josh Allen to make crazy plays. Don't let easy plays beat you. You know, I mean, Mika Fitzpatrick's going to be back for the for the playoff game. I know he's not 100%, but that's going to be a huge lift for us.
Yeah.
Um, so
Also,
I mean, I'm excited.
Demonte KZ is. Turns out he is eligible for the playoffs. I thought he was. I could have sworn I saw that he was ineligible for any potential playoff games, but I'm guessing that's wrong, considering he was activated today, as per the Steelers' official Twitter account.
Yeah. No,
But
KZ's another guy
yeah,
that's
he's
going to have
another
to step
guy
up.
that can certainly stir things up. But I do think the loss of T.J. Watt and Danny, as you mentioned, the Steelers 1-10, 1-12, whatever it is, record in games that T.J. Watt does not suit up. I do think that does matter, but I think in a snow game, I think that that's gonna you're not gonna see many passes
Yeah.
in a game. I think that it's gonna a really run centric game from both sides, really.
Why field position is going to be so important, Zach. And I mean, and that's why I think that's what we brought in punter Brad Wing, you know, because Presley Harvin, I mean, really,
It's
like,
not good.
he's not very good, Zach. And he's had flashes of really good punts, you know, early on in the season, but he's also had punts that are just not very good.
It's just
And
atrocious. Yes.
net, you know, when they're net in the teens, you know, that's not the recipe for success. Obviously, everybody's going to shank one once in a while.
Hmm.
It's been a pattern for Harville, you know, and
Yeah.
I think the guy, again, when he's on, and he sometimes, you know, is able to punt the ball really well, but as of late, he's not been cutting it. So, I mean, I think Buffalo is really going to try to win the special teams battle, but I think Danny Smith will have our guys ready. He always does. He'll still have his bubble gum and everything, so I think we're all good there. I think again the Steelers aren't favored in this game, you know, because Buffalo, it's
So
they're at
they're like
home.
10 point underdogs or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and I mean, if I'm a Steelers fan, I take offense, and a Steelers player, I'm taking offense to the over under one or whatever it is, because I mean, they're literally saying we basically think that these last 3 games are a fluke. Show the fans, show the books in Las Vegas that this isn't a fluke, because
Yeah.
I don't think it is, Zach. Mason Rudolph has been slinging the ball around, so let's not beat ourselves. And let's be hard to play against. Let's be a thorn in the side of the Buffalo Bills and make it close down the stretch,
Yeah.
even without TJ Watt, even battling adversity. That's the formula. We just got to execute.
Danny, your score predictions.
Oh,
Prediction, rather.
yeah, yeah, Jack. I'm going to say 2017 Steelers.
Ooh.
I think
I'm going to lowball the score, and I'm going to say Steelers win by a score of 14-7.
there we go.
Given the
All right,
fact,
bud.
that it's a snow game and swirling winds,
Yeah, no, it's definitely
because
gonna
we
be.
have because I've looked at the radar, and it's like it's this big swath of lake effect snow coming off of Lake Erie. So, and
Yeah,
Buffalo up there
no, it's definitely.
really
I think.
gets hammered.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Zach, when I think of a guy that's going to have a big impact on defense, dude, Cam Hayward, he's been banged up, but Cam Hayward is an absolute dog, as Pat McAfee would say. This guy is made for games like this. You know, these last 2 weeks, he's showing up in the presser with with Mike Tomlin merch on. That is
Uh huh.
a captain leading our team. I mean, I think he's going to have a big impact. I think Mason Rudolph and George Pickens are going to connect for multiple big plays. Zach. I mean, because in the snow, we're really going to find out what the team's made of.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be a low scoring game, but I do think the Steelers will end up pulling win. I mean, if this game's going to be run centric, which I think it's going to be, um, I think that the Steelers are have very very good tools in their toolbox to get the win on the ground. Yeah, I
I mean,
think that
Zach, how
again.
good is Isaac Seumalo been? He's not allowed. I didn't realize this. He's not allowed to sack all season.
No, oh yeah, no, yeah, he is not. He,
I mean,
good
like
catch.
you talk about again. You talk about a pro, an absolute pro that does the right things and just is a made for games like this. It's Isaac Seumalo. So
Yeah.
everybody was saying, "Oh, how I'd really like to play the Chiefs," because we're so similar and their offense isn't as good either. Zach, I honestly really like this matchup
Yeah.
because Josh Allen has proven that he sometimes. I mean, he's a great natural quarterback, but he sometimes makes bad decisions. And our run game and offensive line, we still got to bolster that in the draft. I'd love for us to keep improving that. Obviously, that's going to be an offensive. That's going to be probably the number one priority in the draft coming up here. But I mean, like we're solid in areas that are going to play to our strengths in the game, like Sunday at 1 o'clock in Buffalo.
Yeah. Let's see. I understand we are on a bit of a time crunch here, so Danny, very quickly, the other playoff matchups that you're going to be watching over Super
Dude,
Wild Card weekend.
yeah, Zach, I think I'm going to be watching the Browns and Texans because we have team. I mean, obviously, I am rooting hard for the Texans because I don't want the Browns to make it far in the AFC because I don't want to play the Browns in any more than we have to already because
Yeah.
they're annoying to play against, and the fact that they have Joe Flacco now makes me even more annoyed.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got kind of two polar opposite teams. C.J. Stroud's the high flying young quarterback who has been unbelievable for Houston, and then you got Joe Flacco who has had an incredible run for the Browns. And I mean, I think that um, we saw how good offensive coordinator Bobby Sloak was against us. He schemed us up like we were a peewee team. I think the Texans are a really dangerous team, and I think that's a great way to kick off Super Wild Card Weekend, as you said, Zach. I mean, Saturday at 4:30. So that's gonna be great. And then, dude, Rams Lions. We got Matthew Stafford coming back to Detroit playing for the Rams. MCDC. Dan Campbell for the Lions, the football guy of football guys. I mean, the Lions, I feel like have trended under the Lions are 12-5. I mean, and Jared Goff has been playing at a really high level for him. Same with uh, Jacoby William or the guy from Alabama, the receiver from Alabama that I'm blanking on, Jacoby Williams, I believe. Um, but I mean, he's had a ton of great catches after battling some injuries this season. But I mean, and we got Puka Nakua on the other side for the
Oh yeah,
Rams.
he's
I think
amazing. Nakua.
yeah, I mean, dude, but that speaks to McVay's just level of offensive genius. Like his ability to make a fifth round pick be what he's being is incredible. I mean, dude, so I'm incredibly psyched for this weekend, man.
Danny, your final thoughts on any and all things discussed on this very brief 31st edition of Local Lowdown Podcast.
Yeah, Zach. No, man. I apologize for being on a time crunch. But man, it is a great time of year, and I mean, this for better or for worse, the Pittsburgh Steelers are in the playoffs. And I am incredibly excited, and I can't help but loving the feeling of being in a single elimination tournament at
Yeah,
the end of the year. This is what we play for. This is why we want we care so much is the possibility of maybe just maybe making a deep run. And I mean I'm super excited to see everything and how it unfolds, man. As always, appreciate you for having me.
yes, thank you, Danny. And we hope the next time we speak to you, we're talking about a Steelers win over the Buffalo Bills. Until next time, he's Danny. My name is Zach Bischoff, and we will see you next time right here on the Local Lowdown podcast.